Hey there, this is the Queen of Tax Deeds, Sandra Edmond with your Tip Tuesday. So, okay, I've got you here on my computer screen and I want to show you something that has been very beneficial for me over the years. And I started doing this long before I started hiring people to help me with work that I'm doing. Every time I do something, if I do it more than 3 times, I create an operations manual set of instructions for it. And so if I go in here and I type operations manual, you're going to see a ton of stuff here come up. And I always name it like the last set of, okay, basically I'm naming it whatever it is. So if I'm showing a VA how to pull probates, then it's called, how to pull probates from the whatever county list. And at the end, I put a dash and then I add operations manual. So if I want to search all my operations manuals, I can find them here very easily. So let's see, let's find one that I did recently. Like I did one on, here it is, probate instructions for spreadsheets, right? This is a probate instructions for the spreadsheet through sending letters out in the mail. So this one here is actually rather simple, but let me find you one here that actually has a task summary sheet attached to it. This one does not. So this one here has screenshots. But basically what I'm doing is writing down the instructions, one right after the other. Sometimes I'm doing a video real quickly on how I do it. Other times it may be like here, this is for my virtual assistant. These are some of the most common tasks that I have been doing. So here it is, how to generate the code enforcement list. Hopefully I've got this on my regular task sheet format because it does ask probing questions that will help somebody later if they're doing it, if they run into any problems. Okay, that's not it. But this one here, you see I've got a bunch of links and stuff. So over time, I add a lot more stuff to the videos. Okay, let's see here. Driving for dollars. Nope, that's not on the typical sheet. Let's see, what about this one? Nope. Let's see, putting things into my calendar. All right, let me find a task sheet here. So there was something that I found online called a task sheet. Task summary sheet blank. Here's a blank one, and I'll show you guys this. So this is basically the format that I use. So it says, what is the task? So whatever the title of the task is, and then explain step by step the directions on how to complete this task. And then did you run into any complications? If they did, write down what the complications are, because more than likely, those are going to be the questions you're going to get emails on. So you want to cut back on the amount of times they come to you, whether in person, if you have an assistant working with you in person, or an assistant working with you online. How did you overcome them? And you got to be honest about it too. And what would you do differently? Any suggestions for improvement? What tools were used? And anything other. And then most importantly, I always put who wrote the instructions. If they are updated, we put the name of the person that updated it as well, in addition to that, and the date these instructions were last done. So let me find one here that would have a regular instruction sheet here. Let's see here. Nope. Let's see. Nope. How to find county help. Nope. So some of them are just videos. Some of them are actually, full out instructions. And I even have instructions in here on how to recruit a virtual assistant, because I have my own process that's worked. And when I get virtual assistants, they last a long time. I don't have any that I usually have to let go of a bunch of people. You just have to have a system for being able to find people and working with them. Why am I not seeing one that's already filled out here? All right, you guys, because I'm doing a video, I'm not going to find one that's already filled out. Let's see, skip tracing, probate letters, how to create a transaction and fill out the contact form using Form Simplicity. Because I have a real estate license as well, so one of the benefits is I have access to MLS. And one of the things I do use is that sheet to fill it out. So here's one here, mailing pastel yellow. Okay, so my yellow letters, I do not set them on a yellow line paper all the time. Sometimes I'll use a pastel piece of paper. And so here are some of the instructions that I use. And so here, did you run into any complications? And let me see if you fill this one out here. This one was filled out by my assistant, actually. Most of my complications came from skip tracing if a yellow letter was returned. Another complication I would run into is finding out who to mail a letter to if the house is in an estate or there is only one owner. How did you overcome them? I would use the website True People Search to skip trace the owner. Like I told you guys, I made a whole video on True People Search. If the yellow letter was returned. If the property was in a estate, I would check the clerk of the court to see if the house was going to probate. If the subject property was going to probate, I would go to the probate file on the county clerk's website and mail the letter to the personal representative. If the owner wasn't going to probate yet, I would use True People Search to find any surviving relatives in the area. So I've spent a lot of time training him on how to do things like this. So it's good that he can put it down on paper. That way, if we have somebody else, sometimes it's a JV partner, sometimes it's another student that wants to work on deals together, and I need to get them working on this. I don't have to stop everything that I'm doing to explain and show all of this. I can just go into my operations manual, pull it out, and it's ready to go. Now, don't go into a whole bunch of work putting together this operations manual. Literally, sometimes I'm on the phone talking and I'm doing a video for the operations manual, and I'm telling them ignore the audio, just pay attention to what I'm doing. The most important thing is that you get it down, on paper. All right, so operations manual. If you've been doing this real estate for more than a year, you've come up with things that you do repeatedly a lot. So start putting those things down on paper, on video. You may think you'll never need it, you'll never hire an assistant, but you never know. You probably will. More than likely, if you continue doing this, you will start hiring assistants to help you with stuff, okay? You know what? Someone told me that other people might be interested in some of my operations manual techniques. So I'll tell you what, my method for doing the yellow letters, which is a really good one, which also includes how to skip trace the people when you find them, I will give it to you guys if you want for just 99 cents. So just go ahead and click on the link. I'll go ahead and provide that, and then I'll send you a document with the actual operations manual so that you can do it yourself. All right, it's all about taking action. It's just not about knowing. You got to take action on what you know. All right, happy investing.